Don't be a fool. Try to learn a trade. Try to be something good in life.
But that fast money.
It's not good. Have bitter ending. No dirty money is good. They have bitter ending.
Good evening from Orange Walk, Belize. I did not know this country had a gang problem or just gangs in general. So right now we are going to meet up with the first person who brought gangs into Belize. All right, we are here with the legendary Fred.
Yeah.
Fred, introduce yourself and what's your name?
Frederick Smith.
This is the OG of OGs. So I'm happy to be with him. He's gonna show us the city and tell us about his life and things like that.
Okay, let's roll. This way all of us used to come up wrong. All of this used to be wild bushes.
All right.
Whatever you want to know about the gangs, Crip, Blood.
Okay, tell us. I didn't know, first of all, I didn't know Belize had a gang problem. I didn't know they had gangs. I found out, I seen a documentary one time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Belize has gangs? I thought it was beaches and water and
Belize had gang from I would say from in the, take it way down to the 50s.
1950s?
Yeah, they had gang.
And what gangs were these?
These was U-Bad.
Okay.
U-Bad was a gang that was formed by the Honorable side Musa, which was the Prime Minister that was in power. He had a gang, him and Evan Hyde and all of them.
Okay.
They used to name U-Bad, United Democratic Party.
Okay.
Anyhow, they played out. George Price sent them to the US and they played out.
Okay.
Okay? Then you had other gangs beside that. You had the Charlites.
Okay.
You had the Mafias. You know, you had all different neighborhood that was clicking.
All right.
But they never did got big as the Crips and the Blood.
Okay.
The Crip and the Blood overtake everything and become powerful.
Okay.
So they start off with simple hand combat.
All right.
And then it started by along to machetes and knife. Then it started by along to gun.
Okay.
That's where it's at right now. Right now, it's not about a drug war. It's just somebody pushing the gangs them at war. It could be the police, it could be anybody. But somebody is supporting the gang them with ammunitions to go out there and do stupidness to people.
Okay.
It's not like first people used to have a reason to gang bang. Now people don't have a reason. People just gang bang because they want to be heard.
And what was the reason before?
Before, the reason was like everybody feel like being in a gang, you could get a girlfriend, you know, and then you become a big drug dealer. You come up somewhere or the other. But it's not like that no more. It's not about turf, it's not about nothing. It's just a bunch of bullshit now. Kill.
For fun?
For fun.
Wow.
No reason. No use.
No use.
No use. Everybody just destroying everybody.
Okay, I mean, so you were saying in the 1950s there was a group.
Yeah.
And what was that group initially doing?
Well, they used to just try to overthrow George Price.
So this was a government thing?
Yeah.
So it wasn't gangs?
It was a gang called U-Bad, United Democratic Party.
Okay.
It was a gang.
And then, so then you said they went to the United States?
Yeah, Musa, George Price sent some of them away.
Okay, then, and where in the United States did they go to?
All different part of the states, and they come back with more wisdom and understanding. They just come back more intelligent, where George Price give one of them power. That's the one they call Side Musa.
So this was not actually a gang. It was kind of like a rebel group.
Yeah.
Okay. And they were fighting against the president, George Price, at the
Yeah,
time,
the prime minister.
the prime minister.
At
and
that time.
he sent them away to
Yeah.
mostly California. Is that where, like, where did
I
the
would
Bloods
say-
and the Crips come from?
The blood and the Crip came from California.
Okay. Okay, they came from California.
Yeah. They came by deportee.
And why? How did they get deported?
Well, they committed their crimes over there, and the U.S. government sent us back.
Okay. And when did you first?
Started it is 1984.
That's when you went to the United States.
No, that's when I came back from the United States as a deportee.
Okay. When did you go to the United States?
I go to the United States I would say 79.
79. Okay. And
Yeah.
then what happened after that? So you
I was living in the U.S.,
Okay. And where in the U.S. were you living?
L.A.
L.A. Okay. And how was life like then? How was life back in that time? And did you fit right in?
Yeah, it was easy.
Okay.
Life was very easy at that time in
Okay.
the U.S.
And what did you mostly do? What was your job?
Sell drugs,
And what were you moving?
weed.
Okay. Any coke?
No. It wasn't washed with coke that time. It was CPP and weed
Okay.
was taking over LA, not crack yet.
Okay, because that was more so in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
Okay, but in the 70s, the late 70s and early 80s,
it was
it
weed.
it was weed.
Weed, yeah, and Sherm.
Okay. And how did you migrate to the U.S.? What was your route?
Through Mexico.
Okay. And then through Mexico, what Tijuana, or what border did you go in through?
Mexicali.
Oh, Mexicali, and then on your way to L.A.
Yeah.
So the immigration never thought you were an immigrant or anything?
Well, you have people across you. You have the essays that know the road, know to get you over there.
But once you were in the States, they never thought you were Mexican or anything?
No,
They just-
no. American.
Okay. So they never bothered you or anything?
No, they never offend me.
Okay, so you're doing how did you get into the business?
Well, a lot of Belizean was there before me,
Okay.
so they had the business going on. So all they do, they haul you across and ask you if you want to join up with the business.
Okay.
And then, if you got money, you buy a kilo and you start your own business.
Okay.
That's how it started.
And how was your business like so you started from the street level?
Yeah, and I stood there.
Okay.
I never did reach a high power level.
Okay.
I stay on the street side.
And how did you get caught?
Well, the police, they have a group that they come and they raid the neighborhoods that they know where the drug is.
Okay.
And they catch you there selling, or sometimes they come as undercover cop. And you go to the car and sell them, and they grab you right there and then. That's what happened there.
So what was your conviction? What did they convict you of?
Possession of narcotics.
With the intent to sell?
No, possession means you have and sales.
Okay. And so then what happened after that? You get caught up?
Yeah, you go to the penitentiary, you do your time, and then you go to the immigration camp, then you go back home.
And
They send you back home.
so, and how many years were you doing that for?
2 years you spend in the penitentiary, and you spend about 6 months in the immigration camp, then they send you home.
Okay. And how was the States? Like, how was your experience in the United States and Los Angeles and different parts of California? How was your life?
Excellent.
Okay.
Never had no problem.
You just had one bad incident.
Yeah, I had many after. Then I went back.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I pushed drugs again.
Okay.
That's my thing. I'm always into drugs. I'm always into the street.
All right.
I'm never into nothing positive. Until I got older, then I started to think positive. But all my teenager life, I always think negative. I always want to sell drugs. I always want to rob. I always want fast money. I never did know about holding a job. work from 5 to 8 or from 8 to 5. I'm not into that. Yeah, I'm into just go out there and get mines. Whichever way it means is necessary, I won't get mines.
Okay. And how was so where were you born?
I was born here in Orange Walk and grew up in Belize City.
Okay. And how was life back in the I'm assuming the 60s and 70s? How was life back then?
It was smooth. It was better than now.
Okay. And how is it better than today with modern technology and?
Why it was better? Because people used to look out for people. Now nobody look out for nobody.
Okay.
Now it's a dog-eat-dog world. Nobody cares if you eat now. Nobody cares if your kid go to school. Nobody cares nothing about you or nobody. Everybody just surviving and to hell with the next generation if there should be a next generation. And then all going on now is corruption in the government system.
Wow.
It's real corrupt. Don't care how much money and how much donation the government get, it never hit the streets.
It never hits the real people.
Yeah. Yeah, everything end up in the government's hand. Especially this government that is in right now, this PUP government. It's just all about the Besenios. It's not about the people in the streets. They don't get nothing. You have to be close to the PUP organization to eat something or get something.
So when you were a young boy in Belize City, were you already starting to do like robbing? And
Yeah.
So you started this in Belize, you didn't start this in the States?
No, I started from Belize City.
Okay, and how did you get into it in Belize City? Just friends and the neighborhood?
Yeah, friends that live on the street just like me, sleep where night catch us.
Okay, so in the late 70s you go to the United States, and
Yeah.
then you're in the 80s you're in the United States.
Yeah.
So what was your role in bringing gangs into Belize?
It was easy.
You said you were one of the first people.
Yeah, it was easy because when I got deported, I never had to organize a group. It wasn't about have to organize nothing. It's like the people of this country then, they are so full of foot. They don't have their own mind. All right? It's easy to organize anything in a dumb country like this. It's the truth I'm telling you. I never did tell a group of people, let's hang out, or we gonna start a gangbang, or we gonna start a rap, or we gonna start a shoot. I never did that. All I do, every day I come out from my house is wear a blue rag, a blue shirt and a blue pants. I did that for about 3 weeks. After that, a lot of people started to go buying blue rags. I know this guy that got deported with me, who was a blood in the US. And I tell him, I say, you want to see something? Because he used to tell me I have a lot of followers. I tell him, like how you live on the other side of the bridge, you start to wear your red rag. And you wear lone red and you're going to see how many of them. And he did that, and right there the Bloods formed.
So you started the Crips, he started the Bloods.
Yeah, I'm in.
So were you the first Crip in Belize?
The first Crip and organizer.
Okay, and then Amin was the first
Yeah,
Blood.
I hooked him up.
So why did you guys go against each other? Why did you tell him you go red,
No,
I go blue?
Yeah, he went red because he was red.
All right.
In the US he was red.
All right.
In the US I was blue.
Okay, but why'd you give him the advice? Why'd you put him on the game?
Why I put him on the game? We old friends. We from childhood.
Okay.
We never had a problem.
All right.
Me and him up to this day never had a fight. Never had a dispute.
So do you ever look at these young people and be like, yo, I did the Crips. My boy that I put on did the Bloods.
Yeah.
What are y'all fighting over? Is it a joke?
Hey, no, see, like I told you before, the people in this country,
Yep.
you can't correct them. You can't correct them. They just like the government. They can't be corrected. Wrong is wrong and right is wrong. You don't have no choice to it.
So you started wearing your blue,
And they started following me
and
with
then day by day, you
Yeah.
get your followers.
They started wearing their blue rag too.
All right. And what did you? So you were the leader of the group.
Yeah.
And what did you make them do, or what did they?
I don't make them do nothing because I was more wiser. They do whatever they want on their own. I never did organize a meeting or did nothing. Just that all of them live through this place called Pink Sally, and I go hang out there. And all of them started hang out there, and all of them started use the word crip. All of them started throw up this sign, this sign, this sign. That's on them.
So you didn't bring all that mannerisms and the crip walk. You didn't bring none of that.
No, that was already here.
Okay.
Dancing like Crips, and that was already here from before me.
So what did you bring then? What did you bring that was new?
Gang banging, the colors.
Oh, you brought the colors.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you, when you go back to Belize City, do you tell them like, yo, like, do people know who you are?
Yeah, they know who I am. All right, they know who the hell I am.
Okay.
They,
And okay,
do you know they want to kill me in Belize City?
in Belize City they want to kill you?
Yeah,
Well, what'd you do?
because one guy's supposed to be the leader that took over my spot, and they say I had something to do concern killing him.
And what's the truth?
I didn't. I don't even care about him, or I never have nothing to do with that. I don't have time to organize somebody to kill somebody. If I want to kill somebody, I kill somebody myself. I don't need no side buster to do it for me.
And have you ever been shot up, or have you ever been hurt?
Hell yeah, I've been shot up, yes.
And what is this?
These are blown bullet wounds.
That's one?
That's not one, that's all of them, see there? I got bullet wound come out through here.
Wow. And
I
then,
got scar all here.
so that's a gun, so that's one?
I got scar all about.
That's a gunshot or that's a scar?
Scar. I got scar all in my head.
Oh, I see it right here.
I got a gang mark.
And how'd you get that scar?
Sold my sheets. I got a gang scar. All my life I've been a fugitive.
Okay.
All my life I've been living rough. Never had nobody, well, I had people trying to guide me, but I'm not into that.
So you were a Belizean yourself. You were too hard-headed.
Yeah. See, the only thing is about me, I make my own decision. From childhood. I went to the US and I wasn't nobody's follower. Everything I do it. You can't tell me let's do this. No, I'm not about let's do this. I do it because I want.
How was your childhood with your parents, your mom, your
Excellent.
dad? Okay.
My mom was excellent.
Okay. And no one, she didn't tell you, hey, Fred, stop this craziness?
She did. She did. That's why I left her. That's why I got up out of there. Like I just told you, I didn't need nobody to advise me. I'm going to do whatever I want to do and when I want to do it. And that was my ignorant mentality going through life.
And what was the tipping point? What was the changing point in your life where you're like, Fred, you got to stop doing this?
When I got shot up.
You've been shot up multiple times.
Yeah, but the last time I got shot up.
You just stopped.
Yeah, I said, that's it. It's over.
And where was that shot?
Foot.
You got shot up.
Yeah, I says
This was Orange Walk or Belize City?
Orange Walk. I never did get shot up in Orange Walk. I say it's over.
Wow.
Time to give your life to the good Lord.
And how has life been since then?
Excellent.
You got a new baby.
Yeah. And I'm happy.
You got any other children?
Yeah, I got children. I got A daughter about 30, 37.
Where she live?
I got a son in the U.S.
Okay, y'all talk?
Now. He's in prison.
And what is
He killed 2 people.
Wow, in the U.S.
Yeah, his name is Frederick Lynch.
Lynch. But are you a Lynch? You're not a Lynch.
Yeah,
Your name is Frederick Lynch as well?
yeah,
Killed 2 people.
yeah.
Drugs? Money?
I don't really know what happened. Because he live in Watts. But you could do a dig up on it if you like to. His mother name is Rosemary Williams. She used to live in Watts, California. You could do a research on it.
Does he call you from the jail?
Nah, but I'm saying, yeah, you could do a research on it because they allow you to do research in the US.
Yeah.
And he went to jail as a juvenile. Pretty young, 16.
So he was born there.
Yeah, he born there. He's a US.
So when is the last time you came back from the US?
Who?
You.
When I came back from the US, my last trip there was, I came back in sometime in the 90s. I don't really remember.
And did you come back by yourself this time, or were you also deported?
No, every time I come back, they send me back. I don't come back.
So, what was the second time? What was the reason for the second
Drugs. All my deport was because of drugs.
So the first time you did jail for 2.5 years. What about the second time?
Same thing.
2.5 years?
Yeah, but all the time they send me back is for drugs.
Wow. And you come back to Belize now. When you come back to Belize, you got money with you or you broke?
Broke. Every time I come, I'm broke.
And then you go back.
Yeah.
And what's your message, or what's your regret or message to any young people?
Don't be a fool. Try to learn a trade. Try to be something good in life.
But that fast money.
It's not good. Have bitter ending. No dirty money is good. You have bitter ending. Trust me. It's your life on the line.
And I'm sure you've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
Cousins.
No, friends. A lot of my friends got murdered.
In Belize City?
Belize City in the US.
Wow.
I lost a lot of close people to me.
Did anybody in the US know you were Belizean? Did anybody know what Belizean is?
Yeah, lot. In 39th and Western. Lot.
A lot of Belizeans.
A lot of Belizean Americans.
Okay.
Belizean American is the one name that their mother and father is Belizean and the kid is American. That's when you call him Belizean American.
Like your kid?
Yeah.
And then you said you got a 37-year-old in Belize?
Daughter, yeah, she's in Belize City.
Okay, and y'all talk?
Yeah, oh, we talks. We got a very good relationship.
Okay. And then what about your current ex? You guys have a good relationship?
No. They too crazy.
Are the other kids also Spanish?
Yeah. My other daughter, yes.
And what about your boy?
In the US?
Yeah.
No, he Creole.
He's like you?
American, yeah.
Okay, now, tell us some good things about Belize. What do you like about Belize?
Belize, there's nothing to like about Belize City. Belize City is a trash dump now. Belize City is under a dictator in any other country. Belize City can't make their own decision. I don't like shit about Belize. Straightforward. Belize was 100% beautiful when the English soldier used to be here.
So Fred, are you telling us that under colonialism, Belize was better?
100% better.
Okay, explain that to us.
Why you all call it colonialism? We wasn't under the white men. We was free to do everything. They never did stop us from doing nothing. They stopped the government from doing bullshit, not the people.
So you guys had a lot of food.
Everything was nice. Cost of living, everything was beautiful.
When the British were here.
Yeah.
So today you guys would have wished to be under
Them better, yeah. It's funny, huh? If the British was here, nobody would have sold the sugar factory. It would have run by Belizean, it would have owned by Belizean. The water system would have been for Belizean. Everything would have been for Belizean. Now nothing is for Belizean.
Who owns them?
Every foreign person.
But under the British, everything was Belizean.
Belizean. Everything we own.
So you guys had healthcare, food.
Oh, we had everything. We never needed shit.
But why did you guys want to be free?
Dumbass set of people don't know what the fuck they're asking for. Dumb as ever. Calling for something they don't even know. They heard the word independence by a stupid ass Prime Minister George Price and fucking stupid ass side Musa. Not knowing that Musa only wanted the independence, that he could have got the British out of this country, so he could have sold every motherfucking thing, even the people in the country if possible. What have Belize achieved from the time they become independent?
I mean, tourism is very good right now.
Tourism was good from King Hatchet was a hammer.
You guys produce your own food, your own rice, your own beans, your own.
Not no more. 90% of the things we get now is from across the border.
Mexico.
Yeah. We don't produce shit now.
I would have never imagined everybody wants their independence. No one wants to be under the white man.
The Belizean regret that fucking word independent. You remember what I'm saying? Like I told you, they are so dumb and illiterate, they don't even know what the fuck is independent.
So did you go to high school?
No.
When did you drop out?
I never even go to high school. I never even finished elementary school. I got all my education in prison.
Oh, in the U.S.?
In the U.S. and in Belize prison.
So you went to the Belize prison?
Yeah.
And what was that for?
Robbery.
Okay, and this was Belize City?
Yeah.
Like, and what was, and how is, okay, so tell us the difference between Belize prison and the U.S. prison.
Oh, the Belize, U.S. prison is a lot better than the fucking Belize prison. The U.S. prison have school. Place to educate you. If you don't want to get educated, then you the real asshole. You have a lot of opportunity in the U.S. prison. You don't have no opportunity here in Belize prison.
But the U.S. prison is very violent.
No, it's not. Nope. Not all the prison you go in the U.S. is violent. You have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. Depends on which level you go.
Okay, so what's some of the other differences between the Belizean prison and the U.S. prisons?
The difference?
Yeah.
The U.S., they treat you like human. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
Okay.
You have a chance to go to a school. You have a chance to do anything you want as long as it is positive.
In the prison of the United States?
Yeah, as long as it's positive.
Which one is more dangerous? Which prison is more dangerous?
Belize prison.
Really?
Yeah.
But in Belize prison, you know everybody.
Yeah.
But in
Same thing in the U.S. prison, you could get to know everybody. Just depends on which prison you go to. I just told you that. If you go to Folsom, St. Quentin, Tracy, Soledad, another prison where there's violence, you're going to meet violent characters.
And how was your time in the prison? Did people respect you? Did people know
Where
not
at?
to fuck with you?
Where at?
Both places.
I never did have problem in no prison I go.
They know you're straight.
Yeah.
They don't fuck with Fred.
Yeah, I don't fuck with people.
Okay.
It's funny, right? It's just like how I live here. I don't fuck with people. So people see in prison, in any prison you go, you don't fuck with people drugs, and you don't fuck with people, 9 out of 10 you could go to any prison and survive. People problem in prison is want. They want to credit cigarette, they want to credit drugs, they always want to credit some bullshit. I don't live so. I don't credit, I don't beg, I don't borrow, I do without. That's the difference.
What's the difference in the food? The Belizean food, the Belizean prisons and the U.S. prison?
The U.S. prison are going to feed you like human being. When I used to be there, I don't know now. But
Okay.
when I used to be there, you used to get 3 warm meals. Last time I left from the American prison, they started a new shit about 1 warm meal and two sack lunches. You get a sack lunch in the morning and you get 1 in the afternoon, and in the evening you get a warm plate of food. I don't know how they do it now, but that's something Pete Wilson and all of that bullshit started in the prison. So
And in
something.
Belize?
Belize you get 3 meals.
But that's good.
It's good to you. You never been there.
What kind of food they be feeding people?
Man, it's rough.
And how is the guards?
It's nice about them. At my time, there was real prison officers. They was nice. Now it's a whole lot of difference in Hattieville. I can't really tell you about Hattieville. If I tell you anything about Hattieville, I'm lying. I never really dig into that. When I was there in Hattieville, I had it good. They had a decent prison when I was there.
Now, the U.S. is notorious for giving people 20 years, 15 years, big numbers.
Belize the same thing. Belize will give you up to 65 years.
I mean, what if a robbery? What are they giving you for a robbery?
It just depends. It just depends on the man that sit behind the throne, the judge. It depends. Everything depends on how the judge see it fit.
How do you like the country of Belize? Belize City is bad, but how about Belize?
Depends on which one of the country you're talking about, which one of the district.
Orange Walk?
Orange Walk is nice if you don't fuck with people.
Okay.
Stan Creek is nice if you don't fuck with people, because it's all the same way. All these places are nice if you don't fuck around.
Well, that's the whole world.
That it is right there. Stick to yourself, do your business, and you ain't gonna have no problem no part of the world you go. But if you want to be a part of all the bad activity, you got to expect it's coming at you.
Okay, if you can change one thing in Belize, what are you changing? Just one thing.
The government. As soon as the government they start to go to prison, you come back to a better country.
Who are you going to replace it with?
You have beautiful people to replace it with. If Belize sign that corruption law, this whole fucking place gonna get fixed.
They said under the British was not good because they didn't leave you guys nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
How they gonna leave you something when you didn't ask for nothing?
I mean, you don't have no roads. They didn't build no roads.
Who never built road?
The British.
Man, who's to ever tell you that full of shit? All these roads from one part of Belize to the other part was built by the British. Every fucking road was built by the British.
So what did they do bad?
They didn't do nothing bad.
But someone wanted it. You guys wanted independence.
I just told you, man. Ignorant people do ignorant things and regret it. Okay?
Uh-huh.
First mistake, I'm going to say this now and I'm going to close off. They gave a man power to sell everything in the country.
Uh-huh.
His name is Honorable Said Musa. He and George Price, his family, they fucked up. Okay? Good. That's why they wanted. In the British time, they couldn't sell a fuck. If they get the British out here, he sold every fucking thing he put his hand on.
Okay, if you can change one thing in Belize, what are you changing? Just one thing.
The government. As soon as the government they start to go to prison, you come back to a better country.
Who are you going to replace it with?
You have beautiful people to replace it with. If Belize sign that corruption law, this whole fucking place gonna get fixed.
How are you guys dealing with the different groups of people? Are you guys living in harmony, or is there a hierarchy within this country?
With what?
Creole or Garifuna?
All of us are one. We don't have problem amongst each other.
Okay. So there's harmony in
The
Belize.
problem in Belize is the government.
This is the legendary Frederick. It's been nice having him. He's just a really nice and like funny dude if you even know him in real life. Fred, if people want to reach you, if people like you, want a tour from you of Orange Walk, you know this whole place, right?
Yeah.
And where can they reach you at, or where can they contact you?
I always be at Eleanor.
Okay, and do you have a phone number or an email?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to tell us?
My phone number is 630-4783.
Okay.
I don't have an email, but you could get me through that.
Okay, perfect. Any last words you got for us?
May God bless the world.